I am checking in tonight with Dylan Saunter. Did I say that right? Dylan
Center.
Center? I'm
Yep.
so sorry about that. Yeah, I'm here tonight with Dylan Center. He is the founder of Spectiv, which is an ICO that's going to be launching pretty soon. I'm really excited to have him here tonight because he's going to go ahead and answer some questions for me and for us to kind of get some information out there about what it is that they're doing with this project, which is really actually pretty incredible. So Dylan, I appreciate you being here tonight, and I'm excited to get to chit chat with you a little bit about what you guys have going on. So if you want to go ahead and just let everybody know kind of what your vision is, how you guys got started, that would be great.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for having me in this interview. I appreciate you guys taking some time out to do a talk with us. I'll talk about a little bit about what Spectiv is doing. So, our project is called Spectiv. Spectiv is kind of a two-part project. So, one is the token that we're building. That is the Signal Token Protocol. The second piece is Spectiv VR, which is a 360 virtual reality streaming platform that we're building, and I'll talk about how those two pieces tie together. So first, I'll talk about the token. So the token that we're building, the Signal Token Protocol, as I mentioned, it's being designed to decentralize the interaction between advertisers and the users of attention markets, primarily the creators of content. And this is particularly in the media industry across things like videos and blogs, articles, podcasts, things like that. So the reason that we started doing this is because we've had several talks with advisors in the space as we were starting this project up, and they brought our attention to attention markets. And so we started looking into it, and we've identified a number of problems right now in the current advertising ecosystem. For example, I'll run through the connection right now going on with the Google YouTube advertising ecosystem. So for one, if you don't know, Google owns YouTube, and Google in the advertising space essentially has a monopoly. There's Facebook ads and such, but for the most part, Google owns the entire web advertising ecosystem. So that creates three basic problems. The first one being that Google owns all of the data in the advertising space, and that data isn't necessarily shared. The second piece being that because they have a monopoly, they can charge essentially whatever they want. So for the example of YouTube, YouTube takes a 45% cut of advertising revenue before distributing the remaining amount to content creators, which we believe is a pretty hefty amount to take. And now the third big piece, though, is that there's currently an epidemic going on in the YouTube advertising space called the adpocalypse. And what the adpocalypse is that YouTube, because it is a central entity and the advertising is central, has complete authority over whose videos they put ads on, and that's called monetizing a channel. And what's been happening lately is that because there were some complaints from advertisers over the past couple of years with their brand being associated with certain types of content, YouTube's reaction to that was just start demonetizing every channel that has content that might be slightly on the edge, maybe some cuss words in a video or something. Nothing crazy, but if they're not technically like family friendly, YouTube is taking ads off of their videos and they're no longer earning revenue. This is a big problem for a lot of people, and this is kind of what we are going after. With the Signal Token Protocol, what we are starting is a platform where advertisers would be able to come on, create an ad campaign, do all of their targeting, and set their budgeting. And when they set their budget, that will run their fund, whatever it is, a fiat currency, through an API, which will convert it to signal tokens. The signal tokens will then fund a smart contract, which upon certain trigger events happening, like views on a video or listens on a podcast, clicks on an ad, things like that, that data will be communicated to the smart contract via an oracle. And then those tokens will be released to the creator of that content for whatever action it was that occurred. Beyond that, it will also reward curators, which are the people who share content and drive attention to the videos or to the podcast. They will be able to earn signal tokens. And then in addition to that, viewers who convert on ads or decide to watch a full video instead of skipping it will be able to earn a small portion of signal tokens, which will be limited. So ultimately what we're doing is creating a space where there's no middleman, there's no Google, no YouTube. It connects the advertiser directly to the creators and the users of attention markets via a smart contract.
Right.
So that's pretty much what we're working on.
Well, that's really, really interesting. So basically it sounds like what you're saying is that you guys are going to, take these problems that you have found in in these digital industries where people are putting a lot of time and effort into their content and basically allowing them to go straight to the source, to be paid, and then taking it a step further and incentivizing people to interact with that media or, with these different things so that they can be rewarded for that as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've been just a note on that is we've been talking at a number of conferences lately. So we've been traveling around to some conventions and such. And at Coin Agenda, for example, which was a week ago in Vegas, one of the things that got people the most excited, there were a lot of people there who are experts in the advertising industry. Absolutely. And in talks with them, the thing that they are really excited about is with this platform that we're building, so there will be a general overall platform where advertisers can come in and say that they want to advertise on a media platform that does videos, or say they want to advertise on a platform that does articles, and they can be spread across any of the platforms that have partnered with the Signal Token Protocol. I wanted to make a note on that, is that this protocol is built for anybody to adopt and use, not just Spectiv VR, any site, and we've had a number of crypto-related like article sites, and we're also talking to a radio show right now who are interested in implementing Signal Token Protocol into their platform. On that note, though, so what I was going to say is what the advertisers, experts that we were talking to are really excited about is beyond just general advertising, which is what you can do on Google AdWords or Facebook, we can bring in an extra level of like granularity to where we're looking to create almost like a marketplace where creators can say, I have this channel, I have this following, and advertisers can connect directly to that channel and do a deal via a smart contract with only that creator and target a specific person. Beyond that, it doesn't even have to be an advertiser. A channel creator who is wanting to create more buzz for his channel. Maybe he's just starting up on maybe YouTube, right? He's just starting up on YouTube and he wants to grow an audience there. He can become an advertiser essentially, create a smart contract, and work with other people in the Signal Token Protocol and pay them out for driving traffic to his channel. So it allows anybody to do ad campaigns via a smart contract on a person-to-person basis.
Right. So this is going to help a lot with targeting and reaching the right audience and helping other people get connected. I mean, that's really, really cool. I guess my next question would be is, along with the Signal protocol, how do you guys plan on implementing the virtual reality into this? I mean, virtual reality has been a huge buzzword, as we've all heard over the last couple years, and it's projected to be just a massive revolutionary industry for users, for advertisers, for everybody. So how are you guys going to take that and kind of implement that, and how does it all tie in together?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. So we actually started, we actually launched this project originally in June. And if you look at what we were originally doing, our primary focus was on Spectiv, the virtual reality streaming platform. But as I mentioned, so we talked to a ton of advisors in the space, and some of our early advisors were like Ned Scott from Steemit, who, he's built a crypto platform around not necessarily advertising, but putting advertising in the hands of people via votes and things like that. And then we also talked to Joe Ergo, who runs an open source marketplace protocol called District 0x. And so getting feedback from both of those people, they turned us on to the idea of attention markets, as I was mentioning, and they made us realize that we needed to go beyond the VR platform that we were creating, and that's how we got started with the ad protocol. Now, what's really cool about this is that building a protocol is great, and there's a ton of projects that are out here building, token protocols that are meant for adoption across, somebody to come in and implement it into their system, things like that, but they don't have anybody to use it. They're creating the system for it, but nobody's there to adopt it. Not only are we creating the protocol, but we're also creating Spectiv VR, which, as I was mentioning, is a 360 virtual reality dedicated niche streaming platform. So basically, how Twitch has created a niche platform in the gaming industry, we're creating a niche platform in the virtual reality industry. And Spectiv will be the first user of the Signal Token Protocol so that we can start implementing ads into it. And we already have there's a very large ad partner in this VR space called Immersive. We're not partnered with them right now, but we've had several talks with them. They're a startup that runs pretty much all of the VR advertising. So we have people that we are connected to, and we've had conversations with, to where we can start implementing ads into Spectiv VR. We can start using the Signal Token Protocol, hopefully as of February.
Oh,
and start
wow. That's really, really soon.
yeah, we're actually releasing Spectiv, the platform, next week. So Spectiv is going to release the first week of November.
That is
The ad
incredible.
protocol, yeah, the ad protocol will be added hopefully by February, and we'll start being able to gather the data on like keywords and cost per click, conversion rates, click-through rate, and use all of that data to build it into the protocol so that we can optimize it once we start bringing other platforms and other partners into the protocol. Ultimately, Spectiv VR will be the first user of it. It'll be the first tester of the signal token protocol and will allow us to optimize it for not only advertisers, but our partners. So that's what we're doing on the VR side, on the 360 side. A couple notes on that, as I mentioned, that's releasing in about a week. We already have, so as of right now, we have about 10 content creators that we've partnered with. We'll have over 1,000 videos on the platform, which for 360 is a good amount because there's not the most 360 content is growing. And right now, as of today, we're in negotiations with the single largest 360 content provider in the world, where if we can do a deal with them, it will add about 10,000 videos to the platform. So that platform is gonna, it'll be the go-to spot for user-generated 360 content.
Right. And so, whenever you're speaking of this 360 content, can you kind of give me a couple examples where, an everyday average user might be able to create their own content, certain situations, or, what type of actual use case for the everyday user, how are they going to be able to use this platform?
So 360 content, I mean, it has an unlimited amount of uses, really. I'll break down into, let's say, like you're saying, your average person, right? So first off, the entertainment side, I mean, I would say is the obvious answer for just anybody starting off. Some really cool stuff that we're doing, for example, like on the travel side, a lot of people don't have the ability to travel. They don't have the ability to go visit really cool places, and they can experience them through, videos that they see or photos on the internet, but they're never able to actually get immersed in those experiences. So one of our partners, for example, they do like walkthroughs of cities around the world, or like flyovers of natural areas like Angel Falls or like the Grand Canyon, things like that. And on our platform, you'll be able, with the VR headset on, to be immersed in that environment and actually look around and see the people of the city and see the shops. And it feels as if you're walking through the city. So that's a really cool part, the travel side, the entertainment side.
Absolutely.
Another side to it is like, so education, for example. Right now we're looking to get, the idea of educational videos in, everybody learns differently, right? And not everybody's able to focus in the classroom setting. And I think this is a general thing that just people understand. And so people are working on creating 360 learning environments right now, which will give students an alternative, basically an alternative form of school at their house, but it's an isolated experience where they're not, they don't have to worry about, maybe there's somebody who gets picked on or something. They don't have to worry about things like that. They don't have to worry about distractions. They're in a classroom environment, but they're doing it from their home. So that's another really cool part. And then the last thing I want to mention is live events. So live events they're slated to be independent of gaming, which everybody expects gaming is going to be the single largest piece of VR. Independent of that, live events are expected to be the largest sector of the VR industry. And by live events, we mean things like a sporting event, right? So sporting events, concerts, conventions, things like that. For example, an NBA game, what we'll be doing is, so after our ICO, we'll be working on licenses with major sporting groups like, soccer leagues, NFL, MLB, NBA, all that such. And upon doing those deals, we'll be able to start filming games or a UFC match or anything like that with a 360 camera. And you as a user at your home, who maybe your favorite team's Los Angeles and you live in Houston, where I'm at, you can't necessarily travel to go watch those games, but watching it at home on your TV definitely does not give you the same experience as watching it live. You'll be able to buy like a $10 pay-per-view style virtual ticket. Everybody around the world will be able to buy that same ticket. And when you put on your VR headset, the view you get will literally be a seat in the stadium watching the game live, so that when you look around, you're actually in the crowd. You're not watching from like a baseline camera. You're in the crowd watching the game live, seeing your favorite players. And it'll create a new type of sport viewing experience. And the crazy thing is, on the business side, that means that a stadium now who has that one seat in their stadium and normally would have sold like a $100 ticket to it, they can sell that same seat 10,000 times for $10 each and earn 1,000 times the revenue because anybody can access it. So as I was saying, lots of uses for 360 content. People are expecting it to grow very rapidly over the next 5 years or so, and we believe it's going to start growing as well as all the technologies have advanced and gotten to the point where right now it is ready to start moving forward. So a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, I think it's really amazing that you guys have taken virtual reality and really brought it to a level where users are going to be able to experience so many different things on so many different levels that normally would be completely out of reach, Yeah. So that's really cool. So just to touch on the ICO side of things, you guys are y'all have done the pre-sale, correct? But
correct,
y'all are about to launch the actual ICO.
Right.
Would you, so that's starting a little over a month away, correct?
Yep. December 8th is going to be the launch of the token sale.
Awesome. And is that open to United States residents?
Neither the pre-sale nor the public token sale will be open towards non-accredited U.S. buyers, and it's simply because as a lot of other projects are right now, there isn't necessarily a law that says we can't, but we have to prepare for the laws that may come in the future. So.
Right. Yeah, and that's definitely very commonplace, and we're seeing that all the time now. But definitely people will be able to grab some tokens and begin interacting after the ICO.
Right.
But is there any caps on the ICO for contributions?
Yep. So just as a note, quickly mention the pre-sale. We did the pre-sale. Pre-sale ended September 4th. That was a pre-sale that was reserved only for email subscribers. We brought in about 4,000 Ethereum through that, and we've been using that to develop, the VR platform that I mentioned. We've expanded our team from 5 employees. Now we have 9 employees. We have an office here in Houston. So we've been doing a lot of work with those funds that we brought in. All of this leading up to the public token sale, which will start December 8th. That has a $40 million cap on it, and tokens will be sold for 50 cents each with certain bonuses applied depending on when you get into the token sale. Now, one note I want to mention on that, though, is that there will be a whitelist sale starting December 5th for anybody who is a current email subscriber. So if you go to our website, spectivvr.com, you'll be able to sign up for our email list. Anybody on the email list will be able to have early access to the token sale via the whitelist sale, which starts December 5th. So just wanted to make that note as well.
Yeah, great. So all of our users can, all of our users who are eligible can go ahead and go whitelist their email addresses so they can try to get in on that. Cool. Well, yeah, I looked through y'all's white paper. I mean, it's absolutely very thorough. Lots of really good information. I enjoyed reading it myself. But is there anything else that you would like to add, maybe, to our members who are very active in the cryptocurrency community and who are always very excited about anything upcoming, any really cool projects?
Yeah, I mean, just want to add some notes kind of about the project itself and a little bit of the validity behind it and some of the partnerships that we have. So some details that aren't necessarily like publicly viewable on our website or in the white paper and such. One is that so for everything on our legal side, we have partnered with a very good ICO consulting firm out here called Sutton Stone. They're in Houston. Their office is actually across the hall from our office. And they're working with 3 ICOs right now, and they worked with a very large one in the past. And we're working with them on the legal like that, all of the contracts associated with the token sale, and the format of the token sale. And so with that in mind, for example, in the pre-sale, we didn't just host a pre-sale and have people send us tokens. During the pre-sale, the process for that was very thorough. We had to do KYC, which is know your customer, on every single buyer, get government-issued IDs from all of them, then run an OFAC, which is like a background check on all of those buyers, verify that they're good. And then we did a SAFT agreement with each buyer as an agreement for future tokens. And that was the process of the pre-sale. The token sale will have the same process, but it will be much quicker, and users will be able to automatically go in and do the KYC directly on our site. So we're on the legal side, we're doing everything by the book, and we're working with a very good firm for that. On the partnership side, so I wanted to mention, like, for example, one of the things that we've used a small amount of the pre-sale funds for, and we actually haven't announced this yet. We're writing a press release right now, which we're going to distribute over these next 2-3 days. But we actually acquired a small VR technology in their assets and development. So there's a technology called Live Tour Labs. They're one of the number 3 highest rated virtual reality technologies in the React VR GitHub. Most of your listeners should be, or viewers should be pretty familiar with GitHub.
Right.
Yeah, so they're the number 3 highest rated project in the virtual reality space, essentially. And so we've acquired the rights to all of their technologies. And what that will allow us to do is essentially the technology that they've developed allows us to create immersive experiences in virtual reality through the use of assets. So we can put things inside of videos that are clickable and have different results based on that click. So just an easy example of this would be your 360 going down a road. The road splits into 2 sectors. We could have like an arrow here and an arrow here with text about what will happen. And based on which arrow you click, you'll go to a different experience or a different experience over there. So we can create experiences like that. And then further on the advertising side, this is actually what we're very excited to implement. And the reason why we decided to acquire them is we can create 3D assets in a video. So for example, you create a 3D video of you in your room right now, right? Let's say you're a gamer who does gaming streaming. And so you're in your room. If you had a desk in the background, we could actually throw in a lifelike virtual, like let's say a can of Coke. Right. And make that can of Coke clickable so that if somebody clicks on it in the 360 environment, it could take them to Coca-Cola.com. So we're very excited about creating immersive advertising through our platform, which syncs up very well with, the Signal Token protocol that we're building.
That'll be really interesting to see how advertisers can take that technology and really, really use that. I mean, I'm thinking in my head a million different ways, like, in these live scenarios and things like that. So that's absolutely huge.
Yeah. So anyways, we have that partnership, acquired all of their assets, and that is going to be released. And more information on that will be, viewable through our Medium or on a number of sites within the next probably 2 to 3 days. So
fantastic. Well, yeah, I really appreciate you sharing that with us. And like I said, I'm very excited personally about seeing how this project progresses. And I know that a lot of our viewers and users and members will be as well. And I truly appreciate you taking the time to talk with us so that we could learn a little bit more about what you guys have going on. And I absolutely enjoyed speaking with you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to do. And again, everybody, just go ahead and bear in mind that you can visit the website and whitelist your email now so that, is there actually a cutoff for the whitelisting period?
December 1st.
Okay, so yeah, you want to do that by December 1st, and that way you can get in on that ICO before everybody is able to.
Yep. Well, thanks again for having us. It's a pleasure talking to you. And if anybody's interested, as she mentioned, you can check out our site, Spectiv VR, read our white paper, see our team. All the information should be there. So take a look at it. And that's all.
All right. Thanks, Dylan.
All right. Thank you. Bye.